Hello everyone, after lots of waiting, we finally got a chance to get into the all-new Hyundai Ioniq 5, one of the hottest new EVs on sale right now. This and the Kia EV6 are both based on the Hyundai Kia Genesis e-GMP architecture. That is their modular electric vehicle architecture, and this is the Hyundai version of that platform, and it can be scaled and reshaped in all these different sizes. And this is a really popular product. Everyone's super impressed with it. You can get up to 303 miles of range, depending on which version you get. And so the difference between this one and the Kia EV6 essentially is the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is a little bit more focused on space, a little bit more focused on comfort, and more of like a softer and more comfortable riding experience versus the EV6, was a little bit more dash of, I guess, sportiness, if you want to go in that way, and it does not have the gigantic open center console. So the interior theme is all new for Hyundai, as they kind of even are removing their logo from this, except for the outside. This is the new kind of like Ioniq badge logo, with a few pixels, and that's the theme with the Ioniq brands, is a kind of like this pixel theme, which we'll get a little bit more on the outside. The interior is super nice. So unlike the EV6, it gives you more of like a dark theme, this has a really like a light theme. So you have this white bezeled dashboard, you have your instrument cluster right here, super bright display, and your infotainment system on this side right here. I believe there might be a dark mode somewhere in the infotainment system, but I can't really find it right now, which is interesting. Everything is super well built, super premium, and super high quality, and it has to be in EV because everything's gonna be quiet in your driving experience, and every little rattle will really piss you off. So EVs have to kind of be built well, otherwise they're gonna be annoying to the drivers actually. So that's something to keep in mind. So we also have nice separated climate controls. They may be touch buttons, but they're pretty easy to use, so it's not that much of an annoyance. And this really slim bar right here of your other buttons. Nicely integrated vents right here. And again, everything's super well built. The plastics and the materials all feel really nice as well. On the side of this vehicle, we do also have some orange stitching on this interior, as well as a white theme in here, which is really nice. And these seats are super comfortable, and they're meant to kind of be like a lounge chair experience, actually. So these seats can recline all the way back. As you can see me going all the way back. I would do it on this passenger side over here, to kind of give you that experience. And you also have these kind of like thigh bolsters down here, which is almost like a footrest or like a thigh rest or something, or like calf rest. Really interesting stuff. And I can't see that on the passenger side. I don't believe the passenger actually has that, so this might be a driver only feature. So there's a lot of seat options going on here. You're a drive mode selector right here on the steering wheel, which is really cool. You just press this button, and you do have paddle shifters for regenerative braking. And interesting enough, your drive controller, or I guess to select the direction you're going, more pixel themes on here, is right here. So it's this big like extra stalk. So you press park to go, and drive, neutral, and it's a very sturdy stalk. Everything's very sturdy and well built on here, which I do really like a lot. I believe there is some ambient lighting on this interior as well, but another cool feature is the space. So of course, as an EV, you do have a lot of space on the floor, as there's no like center tunnel for anything, even if you do have all-wheel drive. So you have this little cubby hole right here, which is really deep actually, a USB port and a 12-volt power outlet. Then you have this gigantic center console right here with more charging bits right here, a wireless charging mat down here, 2 cup holders, and a little bit of a center console piece thing over here. Pretty small, but this whole thing moves, so you can actually shift it back more if you want more foot room right here or something, which is really interesting. You can also shift it all the way up here, so that's a really interesting feature I haven't really seen on many vehicles. And that kind of pixel theme really carries out throughout the entirety of the interior. This cool trim over here has the pixel theme going across it. Really nice door panels with this soft touch material over here as well. Oops, sorry guys, as well as up there. Really nice stuff. I think we're gonna hop into the rear seats, because that's another big highlight of this vehicle, is how much space you're able to get in the rear of the Ioniq 5. So I'm gonna move my seating position up a little bit, because I'm kind of in like this lounging capability. Now, the thing about the Ioniq 5 is you also get a full panoramic roof up here. Oh, my camera is not showing that to you guys. See that? So it does make the cabin really roomy. The Ioniq 5 has a wheelbase that I believe is like the same as the bigger Hyundai Palisade 7-passenger SUV, which is a significant thing. But the vehicle itself is much smaller, and that's because, oh, also have a heads-up display over there, and that's because of the EV powertrains and modularity. There is a lot of, you can see LED lighting over here, so it's some nice accenting stuff going on over there. Of course, we have pop-out door handles, so hopping into the rear of the vehicle, lots and lots of room. That pixel theme continues up here. Hopping into the rear, super solid thunk from the platform. That sounds really nice. You just feel like you're sitting up. You still feel like you're sitting up and above the front passenger, so you do feel higher up here. It's very SUV style, like seating position, I think. Really nice ambient lighting on the doors over here, as well as lower down there. Another one of those big storage cubby holes, more power outlets. It's really cool cascading like white center console. There are different interior finishes, so don't worry about that. You do have a lot of space back here. I can like, this seat's way too far back right now. It's not in a normal driving position. Let me just hop over to the side. Like, you have a lot of space back here. Like, I'm actually like reclining back right now and I can stretch out. So all shapes and sizes of people can fit back here. If you're super tall, super short, you'll be fine. It's a great, you can truly fit 3 people back here, which is really nice. You also have rear air vents, which is also a cool feature as well. And even sunshades on this model as well. They're not, of course it's not power, but this is in a high-end luxury vehicle, so I wouldn't even expect that. Again, the materials back here are super, super nice. Really loving the stuff that Hyundai is doing on this vehicle. So let's go hop out and take a look at the exterior design, because there is a lot of nice stuff going on out there as well. So let's exit from this side, open this door, this soft material over here. Close this up, and again we can see that whole pixel theme that Hyundai is going with on their new vehicles. So checking out on the rear taillights over here, we can see the Hyundai pixel taillights. So this whole thing looks like it could be illuminated, but it really is just these kind of like rectangles. I think this looks awesome. Everyone really loves this new design. There's a very thin strip of like a bar going underneath, and the whole design of this vehicle is really, really funky and cool. It's a lot bigger and kind of almost bloated, I feel like, in person, but it still looks like almost like a hatchback. So over here you do have your charging connector. I don't think it's opening right now. Here we go. Charging connector, and you also get vehicle to load, so you can have an adapter, and what that means is you're able to kind of like use the power of the battery to power other things, which is really cool. And this is kind of like a battery charge indicator. Again, more pixels, really cool stuff. I do like how it's powered as well. And I'm sure you've all seen this already. These wheels are super, super interesting with this kind of like flat design. Of course, it is made to kind of help improve efficiency with the flatness of it, but it also incorporates this kind of spiral design into these wheel arches right here. As you can kind of see, these spirals continue into the wheel arches. Really cool dynamic shapes, and it's a nice change up from the black plastic we've been seeing all over these EVs recently. It's kind of this whole big piece over here is kind of where the battery is tucked into the floor. It's kind of why a lot of EVs have these big side sills, which is really interesting to note. Also, like we saw on the Kia EV6 and a lot of other EVs, we have these extended spoilers with air kind of flowing through, so there's no actual rear wiper back here, as you can see. So what Hyundai says is these kind of like air vents are supposed to wash water off of it, but I'm not sure how effective that is in person. I'm not sure if this has the kick to open for the rear trunk. It might not, actually. So yeah, I have no idea to open the trunk, so I'm going to try that right now. Coming around to the side, again, like we see, we have those pop-out door handles like we saw before. Really nice stuff. I believe people are filming up here, so I don't want to bother them. But again, the design of the Ioniq 5 is super cool. And again, we kind of see that pixel theme going on up front with the kind of like the rectangular headlights, which is really cool. Really interesting, unique, kind of like retro, futuristic inspired design on the front as well. We'll hop over to the other Ioniq 5 over there. It's a little bit less crowded. You guys get a better look at that. Super, super cool design on the vehicle. Coming around to the front over here, it's really going a little bit close up here. It's kind of like one example of an EV charge. You guys haven't seen one before. Obviously, it's not plugged in. It's just kind of like an example of what you can expect when you are buying this vehicle. Really cool stuff. Now, for the US market, we do unfortunately get these kind of annoying reflectors in here, which are always orange and always on. So I wish we didn't get that, but we do, unfortunately. These headlights are super, super cool. Really nice stuff that Hyundai's doing. So yeah, this was just a quick tour of the new Hyundai Ioniq 5. Definitely going to be seeing a lot of these on the roads soon, and good luck trying to get one. They are pretty much sold out everywhere, and it's really impossible to get an allocation because they're super, super popular. Thank you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned for a lot more stuff coming from Allcarnews really soon.
Otherwise,
yes. How do you feel like this drives? So, at least on this test track, at least.
I mean, so I've actually driven on the street as well.
Oh, on the street.
I think they drive great, right? So because the battery's being so low and it handles really well, even though it's a big car, or SUV, I guess it is. But it just, the acceleration's really good. So 0 to 60 is rated at 5.2 seconds.
Okay.
And has good range. Like, it just instant torque anywhere, instant power.
Yeah,
anywhere,
definitely.
Which is what makes these so nice.
It sounds super quiet in here too, which is
Super
awesome.
quiet. It has the double pane windows.
Okay.
So like the side windows have it's like the double pane, so it makes them. I don't know, that seems to help with the sound.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of other things in here that make it quiet.
Yeah, and this is the all-wheel drive version?
This is the all-wheel drive, so 256-mile range. The rear-wheel drive has 95 less horsepower, but it also has a 302-mile range, so it gets quite a bit of range.
Yeah, this is great. It's really spacious in here too.
Yeah.
Love that. Also, and it has like a sport mode or something, and
yes, it's actually in sport mode right now.
Okay.
And then you can put on all different levels of regen, so you have whichever option you want as far as that goes. So you can even do iPedal, so it'll drive with just one foot.
One pedal. Okay.
But what's cool about theirs is they also have a setting where it's kind of like an iPedal, but a typical iPedal like puts a consistent brake on, or regen on as soon as you lift off. Or this has that option, or you can set it where it'll just watch the car in front of you. When you lift off with the car in front of you slowing down, at a gradual pace, it's going to slow down at a gradual pace.
Awesome.
So it's not just going to ride the brakes, then you have to give it gas and lift off again. So it makes that a lot better.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. That was great.
No problem.
Awesome.